Welcome to Pitch Day for 500K. We are here at Woven Workspaces. Thanks for hosting us. And what a lovely space. What a great space this is. Today, we're going to hear from Josh with EIS Automation and Evan from CK Bell to tell us about their startups. And congratulations, guys, for getting through our gauntlet to get to speak today. The top candidates go through. There's about 15 or 20 folks who want to be up here every other week. My name's Jeff Sailing. I'm one of the co-founders and the executive director here at StartUpNV. And StartUpNV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit startup accelerator and incubator. We operate 7 free entrepreneurship programs supported by government grants and corporate sponsors. We get additional financial support in the form of donated equity from the founders who we invest in. They give the nonprofit a little tiny piece of their company. So hopefully when it goes giant, that benefit accrues back to the nonprofit. And the investors in our investment funds also donate a portion of their profit to the nonprofit as well. So our fortnightly pitch day offers companies the opportunity to join our accelerator program with investment from FundNV and our investor syndicate. And then that all gets matched by Nevada's SSBCI program. Now, since 2021, we've directly invested in 25 companies, just a little over $13 million. About $4 million of that has come this year, just since the beginning of 2025. We've seen an additional $6.5 million invested by the SSBCI program and our other partners as well. Now, our startup investments that I just talked about, that $13 million, have grown in value to almost $50 million. So if you're an investor with us, you should be smiling right now. If you want to become an investor with us, I'll tell you about that when we get to the end, how to do that. So we do have the partners that have amplified all of our investments since on top of the money that we put in. I want to be clear about that. The money that actually gets invested in these startups does not come from the nonprofit. It actually comes from private individuals who've put their own money at risk in our funds. And all of those millions of dollars that I talk about is not invested by the StartUpNV nonprofit. It's actually invested by individual people who have invested with us. Now, here's the legal disclaimer. Today's pitches are for investment from our legally compliant venture funds and syndicate. They're restricted to SEC accredited and Nevada certified investors. Now, we welcome the community to attend for educational purposes, but these pitches are not considered a general solicitation. The founders here are pitching just to our investment group. Now, special thanks to our sponsors, the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, Governor's Office of Economic Development, the EDA, and others. Thanks for sponsoring us. We could not do the work we do without those sponsors. So, Josh, are you ready to come up?
Yep.
Let's give a nice warm welcome for Josh from EIS.
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming, and thanks to Leith and the team at StartUpNV for the opportunity to be here today. I'm Josh with EIS Automation. I'm the founder, and we are all about data-driven modular robotics. Before I get started, I wanted to share something because we've been working on some certifications the last few months. And just as I was driving here, I got the news that we were ISO 9001 2015 certified, as well as ISO 13485 just for med device and pharma. So that's pretty powerful. So hopefully that will help us penetrate those markets even deeper. What we're really all about is modular robotics. We have developed the scalable and modular work cell system that you see here. And everything I'm showing today are not just ideas. These systems actually are already deployed at customer sites. So we have traction with many customers. And what you see here, for example, is a single work cell for the precious metals industry that automatically weighs and processes the data and gives the customer at the end of the day a fully tracked and traced process in his facility. So this system has been deployed, I think, just about 2 years ago. So one of our differentiators is we take a little bit of a different approach to the control system. We basically unify machine control with data management. So most of our robotics are actually driven by our Windows applications, unlike traditional systems that have industrial HMIs and things like this. So I'm going to go through. That's the main product. And again, it's scalable up to 3 cells, compartmentalized in 1 unit. So we don't even need installation or assembly on site. You take it off with the forklift, push it on casters, and off you go. So the real problem that we're solving is that of labor and not availability of labor. So according to Deloitte and the Manufacturing Institute, by 2030, there'll be 2.1 million manufacturing jobs that cannot be filled. And that causes an economic cost in the US alone of $1 trillion annually. This problem, I think, will be even more so pronounced going forward. So I believe this is an underestimate. I see this and hear this every day. And so that's the problem that we're solving with our robotic work cells. We're automating these processes that previously have been fully manual. And in addition to, we provide the data stream to have a fully traced and tracked manufacturing environment. So what I started saying is people don't want to be robots, right? When it's repetitive, highly repetitive, typically it's not a good fit for people. And the people that go into these jobs frequently change these jobs because they just don't want to do over and over again. I'm a firm believer that the future of the workplace, if not today already true, is not that of repetitive nature, but the workplace more of that of cognitive nature. So what have we done? We've basically created a scalable work cell system. Again, this is a system that is deployed at a customer already. This is a triple cell. We are software forward. Hardware is nothing without software, right? So we develop basically everything on a Windows platform and can communicate to existing networks. So if there's already systems in place that collect data, we can connect to a remote host or a centralized host. We can exchange data and basically make the machine accessible so the customer gets to see in real time what's happening on his floor without delay. So mostly we automate highly repetitive and tedious tasks, high precision, highly repetitive, and that's something that we as humans can't do repeatedly anyways, just maybe on the first hour of the shift, but not hour number 7 of the shift. This particular system alone saved this customer estimated $3.5 million in labor alone over the next 5 years. So this is a fully traced and tracked packaging system for the gift card industry. So if you guys have ever purchased a Starbucks gift card, it's a good chance it ran through our system, right? So what spaces do we cater towards? And again, these are all real projects that we have already done and they're already deployed. We have systems in life sciences, financial services, precious metals, life sciences, pharma, medical, and some others. So gift cards, we're working on a deployment right now for IV bag, robotic handling, cosmetics. We just got a project for cosmetics. We have done maybe many of Dr. Squatch soaps. So we automated the end of line and that system has already processed over 4 million products since deployment. Precious metals and then some medical type products we've done for a customer who delivers to Dexcom. Some of our customers, a couple of them are here in town. PLI and SMI are Las Vegas-based companies. They're really good customers of ours, and we act as a technology extension to them. Last year, we were lucky enough to get Parker Hannifin as a customer, one of the largest engineering firms in North America, and we did a clean room robot for the bioscience division. Then we also did already a medical device project for Medtronic. That was a tough one to get in, but we managed. Again, that was a clean room class 5 high precision insertion application and really was driven by the data and the software development that we're able to give to offer them. We're currently in talks with Mars, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Panasonic, and Costco. And when I say in talks, I don't mean preliminary engagement. These are real projects where we have written real quotes and we are, working on real projects with these customers or potential customers. We have entered or about reviewing the joint venture agreement with AWS Biopharma. They have an IV bag inspection system, and we are basically designing at the moment the robotic feeding for those IV bags into the inspection system. The plan is to release that at PAC Expo this year, and we will be the sole provider with this agreement for all systems deployed globally. And then we have a planned development for some AI-based machine vision. We also do quite a bit of machine vision and image parsing, decision-making, these types of things for the IV bag inspection. So believe it or not, every IV bag, not just in the US, but in the world, is still visually inspected. And the reason is it has to do with the particle size. It's a very difficult inspection, and even AI today is somewhat failing. So there's quite a bit of work to do. But maybe with the next few months and years of development, we can get there too. So now the important part, money and how we can multiply the greenbacks, right? So 2023, we closed 900,000. We closed 1.51 million last year. And then we estimated 2.5 million this year. I will say the first quarter and the second quarter, there were some hiccups in the industrial world, and they slowed it down a bit. I think there's a lot of uncertainty in the marketplace, and we certainly felt that, right? On the flip side, though, we've never had a bigger funnel. So we currently have $7 million in the sales pipeline. And these are, again, not introductory or preliminary conversations. These $7 million are actual projects that we have already quoted out. So hopefully we can convert them. That's the name of the game, bringing them to the finish line. I tried as best as I could finding a TAM, SAM, and SOM. It's somewhat difficult for our industry because there's not a lot of information available in the public space. What I'm sharing with you today is basically a market report that I purchased from a data collection company. So globally, end of line, I put our offering in the end of line category. The market is about $6.7 billion growth by 2031. The US and Europe alone, because that's the markets we believe we can penetrate successfully, is 1.3 billion for the US and 1.8 billion for Europe by 2031. And the serviceable obtainable market, I strongly believe that with the offering and the traction and seeing that we bring real value to these customers and there's an interest in what we have to offer, we should be able to get to 120 million in 7 to 10 years. And our team, the core team, of course, me, we have a sales engineer, a senior software developer, a CAD designer, project manager. So we do everything in-house, and all the systems that I showed you earlier are 100% designed, fabricated, assembled, programmed right here in Las Vegas. So nothing comes from anywhere else. It's produced right here. We have more employees and then also a select few 1099s that work with us on a project basis. So altogether, we're about 10 people making good things happen. So the investment, we're seeking $3 million on a convertible note at a $10 million pre-money cap. And we believe this to be a reasonable approach, and hopefully it resonates with you. So thanks everyone for listening, and that ends my presentation.
So thanks everyone for joining us today, both here in the room and online. Not sure we have enough beer for everybody though. I shouldn't have taken the one I took, so I'm a bad host. Thanks again, everybody, for joining today. And thanks to Josh and Evan for their presentations today. Really, really intriguing businesses. And whether you're watching with us live or whether you're watching later, hopefully you'll dig in and have a few additional questions for us through YouTube. A couple of quick reminders as we're wrapping up here. For other founders out there that might be watching today live or on YouTube after, if you're seeking capital, head over to StartUpNV.com, fill out one of those sort of annoyingly long applications where he asks you a zillion questions about your firstborn and your first kiss and all that sort of stuff. And get up here one of these fortnightly pitch days and let's hear from you. If you're an investor and you think these ideas are interesting and you maybe want to invest either directly or through one of our funds, you can go to startupnv.org and submit a question there as well. Or you can go onto one of our investment websites, fundnv.com, 1864.fund. Or if you want to be more of an angel investor, join us at sierraangels.com. Thanks again to the founders for presenting today. And I also want to thank Brian and Woven for having us out here. I always enjoy coming over here. And if you wouldn't mind, join us again in 2 weeks for another pitch day for 500K. And until then, take care of yourself. And if you can, someone else too. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks.